In this video, we're going to be refurbishing this ABC suspension strut, which you'll find on the Mercedes R230, the SL500s and the 55s, etc., and also a variety of other Mercedes. It is important to realise before you go out and buy yourself a second-hand strut or buy one off eBay that these struts are different for different years of car. For example, this strut here is for a later facelift car and does not have the electronic sensor plugs on the top there. You'll also find that the AMG cars have slightly different struts, so it is important to get the correct part number for your car if you're planning on replacing the strut. These suspension struts will fail in a variety of different ways. The most common thing to fail after 20 years is this dust cover here, and we'll be replacing that. A common problem with these struts and a potential MOT failure as well is the lower ball joint. Now, you can go out and buy these lower ball joints and just press them in yourself. If you went along to Mercedes, they would sell you the entire strut. The only thing I would caution against is going out and buying a cheap and cheerful lower ball joint. Go along to a specialist. We got this one here from ABCspecialist in the Netherlands, because what you will find is there are very small differences in size and fitment between the cheap and cheerful Chinese ball joints that you may get and the ABC ones. For example, if you look closely here, you'll see that the actual section here on the Chinese one is bigger than it is, and if you put these two struts up this way, they are actually very slightly different in size as well. Another common failure point, especially after 20 years, is these dust covers start to deteriorate, like this one here, and indeed on our SL55 all four of our dust covers need replacing. And once again, you can go along to AliExpress or Temu or something like that and buy Chinese parts at substantially lower price, or you can go along to a company like AB Specialist in the Netherlands and pay a little bit more. And the advantage of that is, once you've got these two side by side, you can see that this here is made of a completely different material. It's almost like a rubber material, and it's much more flexible. This here is a hard plastic material, and you can see how it's keeping its shape. And one of the potential problems of that is when you come to replace your dust cover, if you go along to China and buy a cheap and cheerful dust cover like that, it won't matter if your ball joint is already out. But if your ball joint is still in situ, you will find that you need to have something that is more flexible to be able to get that over the ball joint. Another thing that sometimes fails on these struts is the rubber bushing at the end here. This can disintegrate and cause a terrible clattering and knocking sound. Once again, you can get these separately, but you have to be careful that you get the right style. For example, this here is not the right style for the facelift style of strut. You will also notice that if you go along to China, this is one from China here, that the material that they use is different to the genuine Mercedes material, much harder and less flexible. This strut is actually in really good condition apart from the missing ball joint and the dust cover, and we will be selling this strut if anybody needs a front strut for their car, because this is not the right style of strut for our car. We're going to have a spare one, but this is for a facelift 2006 plus model. So first thing we are going to do is actually snip off these bands here. If you've got the strut off the car, you could just cut that with an angle grinder. The alternative is to use a good pair of side cutters, and if you're very lucky, be able to snip straight through that like so, hopefully, and that should break and allow you to get that off. The easiest way to get the old boot off is to cut it off, but if you are going to do that, make sure you don't cut into the metal and score it, and have a brush or something like that to hand so you can get rid of all of this dirt and grime. If you're wondering whether or not you should bother replacing the split dust covers on your ABC struts, just have a look and see what's inside there, and all of this will eventually get into the strut and ruin it if you don't sort it out. If you leave your dust boot with a split on it and you get all that grime and moisture accumulating at the bottom here, what you'll eventually do is start corroding this. Now this one's not too bad at all. And if you were sending this off to somewhere like ABC Specialist in the Netherlands to refurbish, this would come back powder coated and they would be replacing the internal seals in here as well. We're just going to put a new dust cover on for the purposes of this video. You can also buy this upper plastic section separately, but once again you do need to check that you're buying the right part to fit your car. You can see that this one here does not fit on this car. This plastic section is tapered, whereas this one is not. So this would be for an earlier up to 2006 SL. Next up, we just need to slide on this dust cover, and out of interest, I'm going to see how easy it is to slide the Chinese one and get it over that fitting there. Now imagine if you had a ball joint in there as well, you would need some serious flexibility in this to get it over, but let's see if we can get this one on. It's quite a tight fit, but without the ball joint on, this one does slide over there without any problem. One small issue I noticed with this Chinese dust cover here is you have to be able to pull this up all the way. It's about a few centimeters short at the moment. Now with the cover from ABC Specialist, as I mentioned, it's a much softer, more flexible material, so this here is relatively easy to pull up, whereas this here is much more difficult. Something else I noticed is that the bottom of the boot cover here, the one that we took off this strut, has a slightly different shape at this point, and you can see that here this is struggling to get over there, which might be one of the reasons why it's a bit short, whereas on this material here, this is a far more flexible material and will just effectively stretch around that there. Apparently the dust covers that ABC Specialists sell are all actually the same for both the early SLs, the 2002 up to 2006, and the later facelift ones. We finally managed to pull that up to the right level. Now when you buy these from China, you buy the clamps separately from the covers. When you buy them from ABC Specialist, it comes with a clamp, and the clamp style is slightly different. This here is an Ertiga style clamp. On the ones from ABC Specialist, is just a pull through clamp, much easier to use. You don't need any specialist tools for this. We're going to need some specialist pliers to actually tighten this up. This here is the clamp from AB Specialist, and it is actually thicker than the clamps we got from China. I don't know if that's significant or not, but you can see this is just a pull through style here. On these Ertiga style clamps, you just need to hook that in like that, and then use a special set of pliers to clamp that down and tighten it up. This does seem very loose on there. Let's just see if it actually tightens up correctly. This clamp here, we're going to use these special Knipex pliers here. Now they have this hole in the top and the jaws are separated at the bottom, and that should allow us to grab hold of this fitting and squeeze it together, crush it down like so. And then now that's on there nice and tight. Those Knipex pliers worked really well on that fitting. I'm going to try using these cheap and cheerful Chinese pliers on this fitting to see if they work as well. One thing you notice straight away is that these don't have the same gripping potential as the Knipex pliers, and also I'm not sure how well that actually pushes that down. So just to reiterate, the Knipex pliers here have really sharp edges that can grip this fitting here, whereas these cheap and cheerful Chinese things here, I think you'd probably need to grind them down to make the actual teeth here more angled, because they're just slipping off. So certainly in this application, these Knipex pliers win out. Next up, we just need to press in our ball joint. Obviously make sure you press it in the right way round, because this fitting here is going to be on a specific side of the car, and to do that we're going to clean this out first, get rid of this rust. We'll probably spray that up with some Eastwood rust encapsulator, and then just use our ball joint press kit to press that in. So as you look to the front of the car, you're going to see the back of the ball joint, and this pipe here is obviously on the inside of the car. So do make sure you get the ball joint pressed in the right way. Before we press it in, we're just going to go around there with a wire wheel and put a dab of grease inside there. What we're going to do is use this cheap and cheerful ball joint press kit, which we bought when we were doing our R107, and it just so happens that it exactly has the right pieces for the ball joints on this R230. The thing I'm not happy about is that this is right on the end of the threads. Just going to use this 24mm socket on our DeWalt impact driver. So this will either go Pete Tong and there's not enough threads to get this started, or it'll start driving it down. We'll soon find out. Not what you want. I'm really struggling to get this ball joint to go in here without kinking when I push it in. This is the Chinese ball joint, the one I got from China. This here is the one I got from ABC Specialist, and you can see that the jagged edge here, serrated edge, is actually slightly different shape. So I'm wondering if actually the reason I can't press that ball joint in is because of the ball joint. So we're going to just try pressing in the ABC Specialist one and see if that makes a difference. Right, let's try and see if it's easier to press this ball joint in than it was the other one. It'd be amazing if that's all it was, because we've been trying for hours to get that other one in. A bit of a nightmare doing this in situ on the car. I think this C-clamp is actually slightly too small for this job. Right, let's have a look and see if this will be the one. We'll start off by hand, I think. It's better than the other one, but still not straight. It's the next day, and we are going to try plan B, which is had this ball joint in the freezer overnight and see if that makes a difference. We've got this about as straight as we can get it. This is our 5th or 6th attempt. I'm still not convinced that that is in there straight, but we'll try it. Nope, that is still going in kinked. You can see it's higher on that side than it is on that side. I have just noticed that this has got a little ridge in here. Maybe when the ball joint went in not square, it dug that ridge. So I'm going to have to go in there with a Dremel tool and get rid of that, because that certainly is not going to make our life any easier. Wow, I mean, I think that's going in. So sometimes this, as you're doing this, this here will heat up, or this will heat up and expand into this, but seeing that's been in the freezer beforehand, I'm hoping we can just get this straight in. Let's continue. If you're struggling to get this in, it's really, really important that you've got grease on these here, because there's an awful lot of pressure, and that's just by re-greasing these can often solve the issue. We've just got a little bit further to go. I reckon that's it. That was an absolute battle getting that ball joint in, but we got there in the end. And I think what did it actually was just going around there with a Dremel tool and getting rid of any rust inside there and giving us a slightly better edge. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, that took a couple of days to get that in. We're going to finish this video here. We managed to get that ball joint in there. I think the secret is to make sure that the inside of there has no ridges, possibly put that in the freezer, To finish the job, we just need to touch this up with a black rust encapsulator, stop it rusting in the future. But as I mentioned, we will be selling this strut, so if you have a later 230 SL 2006 facelift SL and you either want a spare strut or you've got a problem with your strut, either the ball joint or when your pipes are leaking, this one here is in excellent condition. Obviously has a new dust cover on. This pipe here is a new pipe from Mercedes. That alone is £120, and obviously it has a new ball joint in there. We haven't replaced this because the bit that I bought was actually for a slightly different model Mercedes, but this is in good condition and it'll just clean up nicely. If you have got a Mercedes R230, in fact, any Mercedes for that matter, the R129 and a whole variety of other Mercedes, this company here, ABC Specialist in Holland, do a massive variety of parts, from coilover conversions to ignition coil packs. You've got ABC pumps, the whole valve rebuild kits. When we first got our SL55, the rear strut had a problem the very next day, and this is the company we got the plunger from. It arrived really quickly and did exactly what it said on the tin. So, as I say, it's definitely worth checking out this company here. They may not be the cheapest for every part, but when it comes to buying parts for your Mercedes, it's generally a good idea to try and stick to good quality manufacturers and companies you can trust. We have occasionally bought parts from China, and although they're a lot cheaper, sometimes the quality of those parts is questionable.